So in the previous video, I showed you how you could add video inside of text using Resolve. It does have its limitations, that being that add, if you want to put that text over other video, you get this horrible effect like that, and so not really usable. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can add not only one but multiple text within the side of video using DaVinci Fusion. Now, don't stress, don't have a panic attack. It's not as hard as you think. It's actually quite good fun, and I'm going to walk you through it. So let's get started. So to get started in Fusion, we're going to come up to the media pool right here. We're going to click in a blank area, and we're going to go down and select New Fusion Composition. We're going to call it Electric. Actually, we'll call it Electric Car. We can then take that composition and drag it into our timeline like that, and we'll just expand it out. Then make sure the timeline is above the clip and go down and hit Fusion just here. And you'll be brought into this window here, which may scare the hell out of you. But it's actually quite simple. I'm going to drag in some video first. If you come across to the left hand side, you'll see where our media is here. You don't see that. If you go up to the top where it says media pool, if you just click that, it'll bring up all your media. And you can actually drag in video. So let's drag in this car video here. I'm going to take that across. You hold the grey little pluggy thing here. It's called a pick whip. And just stretch it across and connect it to the media out. Now the first thing you'll notice is that it's not really given us a good name for that video. So clicking on that node, it's called a node, we're going to hit F2. I'm going to change that. I'm going to call it Silver Car. We're then going to come over here and we're going to grab another clip. Which clip shall I use? Let's use the Vietnam footage. Again, we're going to click on it and hit F2, and we're going to call it Vietnam. Now, if I take this pick whip here and connect it to this one here, it'll automatically create what's called a merge for us. So with a merge, you have a foreground and a background, and you can always tell which one's which by if you hover over the line just here, it tells you this is the foreground and this one here is the background. The first thing we're going to do is create a text node, and the way we do that is from this toolbar here. As you can see, it says text right there. If you don't see the toolbar, come up to this Fusion tab just here, and where it says show toolbar, make sure that's ticked, and then that'll pop up like that, and we can just grab this text like that and bring it in. Below each node, you'll see there's two little dots. And the reason for those dots is because you can have two screens. So for instance, we have the Vietnam footage in the right window, and I can put the text in the left window and type something in like this, electric. For this tutorial, I'm going to use one window, so let's just drag that across and see this icon here. We'll just click that. So I've got our text. First thing I need to do is change the size, so we'll bring that right up like that, and I think I'm going to change the font again to that one that we used with the Vietnamese text, which is that one. I'm going to take that text and connect it into our Vietnamese footage like that. And now if I click on the media out on this right icon here, there we are. And we can do all kinds of wonderful animations with that. Now I'm going to create a copy of this text. So clicked on it, right click, hit copy. I'm going to come over here in a blank area, right click and hit paste. I'm then going to take that text and put it into here like that. And we now have white text, and we have that text as well. And the reason I've done that is because on this text I can actually create an outline on it. And the way we do that is I've clicked on the text, come up to here on the right hand side, again the inspector just here, click on shading, the third one in there, and when you come down under properties, you've got these options here. We're going to click on that one right there, and hopefully you can see it's given us a white outline. We can change that color by coming down to here, clicking on that and changing it. Let's change it to like a yellow or something like that. We can also change the thickness of it by going up and seeing here, I can make it really thick or just bring it down to make it very, very subtle. Now, if I want to animate this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this text node just here, drag it up like that. Now that's selected, you know it's selected because it's in red. And if I come up to this toolbar again, you see it says transform. If I click on that, it'll add it to the node tree, and you know it's added because you can see the blue and yellow lines like that. I'm actually going to copy that transform. So I'm going to click on it so it's highlighted in red, right click, go copy. Now instead of hitting paste, I'm actually going to do right click, see here where it says paste instance, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to connect this text node into here like that, and then this into here like that. You're probably wondering why I've done that, and the reason for that is an instance is an exact copy of the original, and what it basically means is anything I do with this one here, so if I resize it, it automatically does it to the other one as well, so it just saves time having to keyframe things on the other side. So let's create an animation with our text now. The way we do that is we're going to go to frame 100. I like the position where it is at the moment, so I'm going to come across to the right. Remember to make sure you on the transform it's highlighted in red. Come across to the inspector, again click on this button up top if you don't see it. I'm going to click a keyframe on the size and the X and Y. We're going to go forward to frame 120 and do exactly the same thing again. And then we're going to go to frame 0. I'm going to change the size right down to 0. And now when I hit play, it comes up, waits for a second, and we can actually have it do something else now. So I want to go to frame 200 and I want to zoom in. Now as I zoom in, what you'll notice is that the text is slightly off. So what I need to do is move the text through like that. Keep moving the text. Again, we've reached the 33 limit, so what we'll do is we'll change that to say 40. We'll bring our text across, our video across like that. And then, as you can see, now I'm going to hold the control key as I do this, just to make sure it zooms in properly. And there we are, so we're through to the other video. So now when I play it back, text comes up, stops for a second, and then zooms straight through to the other video. Now we can control all of that with the splines like we did in the DaVinci side. And the way we do that is if I click on the transform here and then go up to here where it says spline and click on that, you'll see that this comes up. Now I've actually selected an option going, see here where it says show only selected tool. So it will only show me any tool that I've clicked on the left here. And that's handy because if you have a lot of nodes up, you'll get a big list here and it'll give you a headache. So I've selected that transform. Now if I come across to here, to these two arrows and hit zoom to fit, I can then go in here, select those two and hit S to smooth. And now if I close the spline window and play that back, still need to adjust the keyframe here, so I'm going to go to frame 100, go to the spline tool again, select that and hit S on that. I also think it's taking too long to come out, so what I'm going to do is select these two keyframes here, by left clicking and dragging over them like that, and if I hold the shift key while I'm over it and just move it with the left mouse button, I can move it closer like that. Let's play that again. Text comes in, holds, text goes out. Very cool. Now the advantage of this method is that you can keep adding more and more video, more and more text. So if I just go in here and bring in another video, let's bring in this astronaut. Good housekeeping, F2, just to rename it. And I'm going to drag that again like that and connect into the merge, and it'll create another merge for us. Again, we're going to bring in some more text, so I'm going to go to the toolbar, hover over there and bring that in, and then click that in like that. With the text selected, I'm going to come over to the right hand side and let's just type in world. Now if I size that up, you can see straight away that it's actually bringing that video in. So that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing as before. We're actually going to take this text, copy it, come across here, Control V to paste, and then we're going to connect that into the merge. So we've got two. I'm going to click on that one, come up to our right hand side under shading, click there, use highlight like that, change the color, let's give it an orange. There we are, that'll do. Right, so we need to create a transform. So clicking on the first text, holding it, we go across to the toolbar, hit transform, it'll bring in a transform for us. We need to do the same thing again as the previous one. We need to right click on it and hit copy, come over to a blank area and go right click and hit paste instance. Then we can connect our text into that and that into that. And now when I click on this transform and play around with it, you can see it's affecting both the outline and the text itself. Now we know on the first animation that it finishes at 167. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this transform here and we're going to click on center and size. I'm going to come forward, say 40 frames, 240, and then we're going to do the same thing again, center and size. Let's go back to the first frame, which is 167, and we're going to shrink that right down to 0, like so. And now when we play our animation, and again we can do the same thing as we did before. We can actually have it fly right through. So frame 280, we're going to zoom in and we're going to move it at the same time. Zoom, move. Again, we've hit our limit, so let's take that up to 30. And then let's just move this across like so. And then we're into our other footage. So let's just check the keyframes. So clicking on that transform, I'm going to go up to the spline tool here, hit this zoom to fit like that. And then let's just create a smooth curve by selecting those two and hitting S on the keyboard like that. Close the spline window down. Now when we play it, how cool is that? Hope you enjoyed that. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them below. I do read them and I will get back to you. And if there's anything that you'd like to learn, please let me know and I'll do a tutorial on it. See you in the next one. Bye.